on my wildest dreams. Maybe that one could have carried me to streets of gold. Things aren't always as they seem. Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist. I wonder what would change. I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. Times on by I've traded like dirt in the clay. I thought my memories would end. One street over's now 1,000 miles away. When I close my eyes, I'm back to where I've been. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today.
Good morning, Robertson County. How you doing? This is 1100 WSGI. I'm Utah Laverne, and this is One Street Over. It's a little chilly out there this morning. Oh my goodness, I don't know. I love this. I wish we could kind of live this way all the time. I'm so excited you're joining us today. We've got some fun stuff going on. We're going to be talking with Trent Cobb in a little bit, getting all the update on everything that happened at the fairgrounds this past weekend. And if you were on my social media, you know we were there, and it was such a Robco weekend for us. And so he's going to come out and kind of recap that for us, and then he's going to talk about some things coming up. But we've been talking a lot about the Seed of Hope Tour of Garden. My friend Penny Callis is in the house. Hello, sister. Get right up on top of that microphone for me. And she is, of course, the person who keeps me redheaded. And she's my hairdresser. She's been my friend. How long have you been doing my hair? I mean, it's forever.
100 years.
100 years, maybe. Something like that. So anyway, she's my dear friend, and she had told me about them. And we've got Bob Ary. Is it just Ary? Ary. And it's like Ary. Bob Ary, and he is joining us as well. He trains master gardeners, and so we're going to get to that. But I want to mention we got a lot to cover. Martha Song. I remember when you first started talking to me about this, and when she was still around, and she did so much for so many people.
And that was Martha Parker.
And I got to meet her, you know. And then when we lost her, and then y'all thought to do the Martha Song and to bring all this together. I think before we get into what is going on this weekend, and I know you did this last week, but for people who are just coming to it, unpack exactly how Martha Song came to be, what it is, and why don't you just kind of give us that little elevator speech real quick?
Years ago, Martha Parker worked with the local hospital, and she was a breast cancer survivor, and she would get names of people that were diagnosed with breast cancer, and she would take a little care package, go to them, and kind of explain to them what they could expect. So she shared hope and compassion with those cancer patients. And so when her cancer returned, we decided that we wanted to start this organization and to help people in Robertson County. It's not just breast cancer, it's any type of cancer, male or female. So Martha Song is a nonprofit organization that provides funds for residents of Robertson County who've been diagnosed with cancer. just a way for neighbors to share hope and compassion with each other. So they have to apply for the funds and show some documentation to show that they are have the diagnosis of cancer and that they have an address that is in Robertson County and they can receive funds.
That's amazing. And my mom's walking through it right now. And just, it's overwhelming because things you don't think about that you need. Little things. We were ordering some stuff for her the other day, just little things that she needed
Right.
because of her cancer journey. And that's what it's there to help with, is
Absolutely.
that extra expense. And I just think it's just such a beautiful thing that you're doing. And we did, how many years did you do the fashion show? Because we did that. It was like every other year.
We started biannual fashion shows back in the late 90s.
Right. Wow.
And,
We're old.
Yeah.
We're getting old, Penny. But
and then so we haven't had a fundraiser in a few years because we were under the umbrella of Northcrest Foundation. And then when that dissolved, we had to
redo it.
put on our boots and take care of everything ourselves. And so we now have our own nonprofit status, and we're rolling.
I know. Well, and you had COVID to deal with
Yeah,
too.
we
You couldn't do events because of COVID. And so I was so excited when you told me you were doing a Martha Song event, and then to find out what you're doing, because I think this is just this tour of gardens. We have got some spectacular gardens in this county. I mean, I have seen a few of them, and oh my goodness, you're going to be so excited to see these. And I just think it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful event. Tell you real quickly, you go to Eventbrite. It's a $25 ticket. Kids are free, right? 12 and under. And so you get a $25 ticket. It's a self-guided tour, but that's the first thing. Go to Eventbrite, get your ticket. It's happening Saturday. So we're going to be talking a lot about it today and tomorrow, kind of getting a little bit of a teaser about some of the things that you're going to see. And that is why Bob is here, right?
Yes.
Would that be...
Yes, and I do want to add to that if you get up Saturday morning and say, well, I did not get my ticket, you can still come.
Okay.
We will not be making change at the sites, but you can pay your entry fee
okay.
by check or correct change, or we can help you get one through Eventbrite. But if you just get up that morning and decide, you know what, I can come, you can still come.
Okay, so you would just show up at one of the sites and they can
Absolutely.
sell you a ticket.
And the sites are listed on
Okay.
Facebook.
Okay, so go to Martha Song Facebook page and you can get all the details, because I have been watching the different gardens pop up and the features talking about where they're going to be. They're going to be at Corbin Creek. We'll talk about Corbin Creek here in a minute. But that, again, is why we brought Bob. Why we brought Bob in here. So what is your part in this on Saturday?
Well, I think the biggest part for me is to be at the Highland Rim Research and Education Center, the gardens there, as well as being involved with some of those that are part of the tour this year. But the Master Gardeners of Robertson County a couple of years ago partnered with Rob Ellis, who's the director there at the center, and are in the process of developing a demonstration garden. So this is something that Rob wanted to bring to Robertson County and help people in the county to discover what's there. And if we think about the research that's happening there, primarily it's tobacco, beef, and more, as the field day is happening later this month, but to incorporate for residential homeowners and gardeners in the county a place where they can come and visit and maybe get new ideas and learn new techniques. And that's a part of what we're preparing to show this year in those beginning stages.
I love this. My son, I have mentioned, I think I told you that one of my boys has bought a place and they've got this square backyard and they don't know what to do with it. It's just it is literally a blank canvas. And I told him, I said, you need to come to the tour. You need to come to the tour and see all these things.
Get some
And
ideas.
yes. And so I'm hoping he's going to tag in and come and just check it out, because and especially going out there, you could talk to him about what would grow and what wouldn't grow. And that's probably my biggest issue is, I know the Grays, and so I've seen their beautiful garden, and I know Amy Corbin, and so I've seen what she does. I have to go to them and say, I've got this, and I don't know what to do here. And so you can get all these wonderful ideas, and you'll just have a wonderful day of just going by and just enjoying this beauty and just spending the day in Robertson County. And go ahead.
So, Rob, other than going to this, if someone has those questions, what can I do in this space? Who do they need to talk with?
Well, they can talk with me as a beginning. Give me a call. I'm working on a part-time basis at the Robertson County Extension Office now. I retired from Extension in 2020, but contact me, or you might reach out to some of the master gardeners that are active in the county, and there are between 30 and 40 that are certified, and if they don't know the answer, they're able to direct you in a place to discover that answer.
I love that. And what does it take to be a master gardener?
Well, a master gardener training for here in Tennessee, we go through about 40 hours of training. We had training this spring, had 14 different sessions. I had 19 people that were enrolled in the class. And it's a combination of instruction that happens via Zoom and webinars as a part of the University of Tennessee Extension specialists and other experts in the field, and also some hands-on activities that are included as a part of each session. So it provides a broad overview of gardening and horticulture so that you understand about soils and pests and turf and vegetables and diseases and fertilizers, et cetera, et cetera. So,
Well, that's interesting. And I find all this fascinating. I'm a farm girl. I should know this stuff. Petey, we should know these things. We grew up in it. And our daddies would be like, I taught you that. But
they probably followed along behind us and did what needed to be done to make sure it grew.
This is true. But I have, because I'm so far removed from it, I've forgotten it all. And so I need a lot of training. So, I mean, you're gonna get to come out and see what's going on at the Highland Rim experiment. What did you call it? It's the Highland Rim
Ag Research and Education Center.
That one.
See, I knew it years ago as the experiment station.
The experiment station.
That's what so I can't get that out of my mind.
How long has that been around? How long has this facility been around?
I believe this facility in Robertson County it's either in the 1930s or 40s.
Wow.
That was established as a station, and primarily for tobacco research to begin with.
Interesting.
But the beef cattle are also a large agricultural enterprise here in the county as well, and so the research has been ongoing. And if people come to the gardens this weekend, we're going to begin with some blueberries that have been established for years and kind of reviving those, but raised bed gardening. Different techniques for vegetable gardening, including Three Sisters planting.
What is that?
Three Sisters planting corn and green beans, a pole bean, and squash together as they work in companion planting. The squash shades the corn plant roots. The beans climb the corn as they produce that. The corn is their pole, and so that's that combination of growing.
I love it. This is so much fun. And then how do you keep the deer out of it, though?
Well, we hadn't faced that challenge yet in this new planting, but we'll see.
That's my biggest dilemma. I love gardening, but I've got a lot of wildlife, and they're just like, "Thank you, this is delicious. We're really enjoying this." And they'll look at me. They're killing my mulberries right now. They're just all over the place. But this is fascinating. You've got to be a part of this, guys. Go to the tour, the Seeds of Hope Tour of Gardens. Go to Eventbrite, get your ticket. But if you don't get your ticket at Eventbrite, you can get it that day. It's going to be just an awesome day. You're going to love it. A Robco day. We love it when we can do that. We're going to pause for just a second, though, and take a quick break. I'm going to talk to you about my friends Barry and Rebecca Richards with the Exit Realty Garden Gate team. If you are needing some help right now, if you need somebody that's in marketing, that maybe you've got some property that you're like, man, it's just not getting the attention it needs. Have you thought about maybe getting some drone footage, getting some photography, new pictures? Barry's a Zillow certified photographer, a licensed and insured drone pilot, does those 360-degree virtual reality home tours. He came in and taught my kids how to do those home tours in my audio video class. But he comes in and helps me a lot. They're very involved in the community up in Cross Plains, been there for over like 27 plus years. So they specialize in Robertson County properties, but they also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky. Rebecca, one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist, loving what she does. She studies, stays up to date on it. They came out of different careers, went into real estate after doing other things. So if that's something you want to do, they would love to mentor you as well. You can connect with them at sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy, B-U-Y, robertsoncounty.com, or give Becky a call at 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425, and let them know that you heard some show. And we are back in the house with Bob Ary and Kenny Callis. They are part of the Seed of Hope Tour of Gardens and Tour of Gardens, and this is all happening on Saturday. What is the official start time? 9 o'clock. So you can knock on that first door at 9 a.m. You know, I was talking with Grace, and they've got bathroom facilities and all that at their garden. So they're like, that would be a good midday stop. I'm guessing that the research center does too.
Yes.
Okay.
Facilities will be available, yes.
Yeah, so that's something to kind of keep in mind when you're scheduling where you're going to go. It's like, well, I could, you know, and I don't know, some may have them and some may not. But those two we know do, and that would be a good place to have a bathroom stop if you need it, you know. And I just, well, why are you still doing what you're doing? Now, you came out of, I'm trying to think about the different things I need to ask you, and there's just tons of things wheeling around in my head. But you come out, you retire from the extension office, and you're still teaching classes. You're creating master gardeners. So I'm assuming you've been at this a while. Is this like your first love? That's usually what you return to when you retire. You go back to the thing that you're passionate about. Is that true?
Well, I retired from extension in 2020 with 42 years. And
Okay.
about
Wow.
the last 20 or so, I worked in horticulture, and I'm a Tennessee homeowner like everybody else, and
Yep.
and I like to grow my vegetables in my garden, and I became interested in my landscape plantings and trying to organize and design beds and think about pollinators, hot topic these days. And so with that interest, I just changed program areas a little bit and began to learn more and more, and then became involved in the Master Gardener teaching that in Davidson County. I was a part of the staff there, and then to Sumner County. And Jeff Smith, the former agent here, he said, if you thought about working part-time after your retirement, would you consider maybe 10 hours a week? I said, yeah, sure, I'll do that, because I enjoy the Master Gardener program and teaching, and it's all because it keeps me engaged and learning as well.
Sure.
It's very dynamic, something new, a new thing to try, new plant to plant,
Yeah.
and enjoy and benefit the environment and pollinators, etc.
That's very cool. Do you concentrate on native plants, or do you bring in other things, or is it pretty much just the native stuff that you guys concentrate on?
I think we want to incorporate natives as much as possible, but there are limited selections out there, and we have to think
Sure.
about right plant, right place. And so depending on where we're looking at placing that plant in our landscape, whether or not it's something that's really native that will fit for us. A lot of selections, and I'm sure we have done better in incorporating and including natives in our landscapes more recently, because we've learned more about it, and we understand that they can deal with the stresses of our weather better than plants that may have come from other parts of the country or either other nations.
Well, I had that conversation with the Grays because I saw ivy in their landscape years ago, and so I just brought it in. I lost all my ivy, and so they had some that they were talking about the different varieties and the ones that were a little bit hardier and things like that. And that little polar vortex kind of knocked us all on our teeth, And so that's the thing. So many of these opportunities with the Seed of Hope is going to places that maybe you've heard about, but you've never been. I've never been to the. I've never
I do
been.
the same thing.
I've
I
never
grew up
been.
here.
Yeah.
I was in 4-H.
Yeah. And see, and that's the thing. So many of us have, well, like I love that y'all have Corbin on there. People hear me talk about Corbin all the time, and they just haven't taken the time to go out there and see what they've got going on. And this is part of the tour, and it'll get them to all these places. The shade tree doors, all these different
Yeah,
places.
shade tree's going to be on
Yeah,
tomorrow. It's
yeah.
like I've got some fruit trees in my yard that my brother helps me with, and just this year, see, I have a pecan tree that my daddy started from a seed.
Oh wow.
And so my brother came and he said, I told Daddy that I would graft his tree for him, but it's yours now. And do you want me to do that? And I'm like, well, I was getting ready to cut it down because it wouldn't do anything. And he said, well, it's never going to produce unless we graft it.
What does that even mean?
You want to tell?
Well,
So
grafting is taking a section of a tree and establishing it on a different root stock. It may be the same kind of root stock, or it may be something that's a little bit special that provides a better opportunity for that tree to fight off. It might be to fight off disease. It might be to deal with stresses of weather, etc.
Okay.
So he was telling me that when you purchase, say, a pecan tree, it's already been grafted. But raising it from the seed, it's got to be grafted to a tree that is already producing.
So
Is what he's
so-
still learning about it too. So
Right.
we want to learn more. So the grafted has taken in 2 places.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
we're excited about that. I said, okay, so I won't cut it down yet. So he said we may have some pecans. So we're still learning about it, but there's just so much to learn.
Yeah.
And
you were talking about shade tree with the fruit trees and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
And they
what
help
else,
you.
what else is Bob going? What else are y'all going to show us? You said about the 3 sisters.
The 3 sisters installing irrigation as we think about watering our plants. It becomes more of a chore if we consider our summer stress periods. Heck, we've already had one that was 3 weeks and really a problem. But not only for the vegetable gardens, but for our landscape plants, and we can do it better than overhead sprinkling, and it's actually more efficient, and it's much better for the plants as well.
Is it very expensive to do irrigation?
It's not very expensive. For a homeowner, we can utilize our water faucet that we just normally have.
Yeah.
Nothing, because these newer systems are low pressure systems.
Okay.
And we string. Put out the emitters along the way. They're just right there at the ground level. You're not throwing the water in the air. It's right there for the soil to soak up, and their roots are right there, and it's just very efficient way to apply water. One of the things, they've got a couple of really mature trees out at the station, and for years nothing's been able to grow under those because of the shade and because of the compaction of the soil. Well, you can actually add a layer of soil on top of the ground for a few inches, up to 6 inches, and they've reestablished some shade gardening under these trees so that those who visit the gardens on Saturday can see some of these shade plant selections that they might include under the canopy of larger trees.
Like hostas and those kinds of things.
Hostas.
I mean, that's the only thing I know.
Hostas, euchre, astilbe, ferns. A lot of people are becoming more interested in growing ferns, and this is a great way to include those in the landscape as well.
I've been trying. I want ferns that are perennial, and explain to people what perennial means.
Well, perennial means that the plant returns year after year. The root part of the plant never dies. And for many perennials, the top may die at the end of the growing season once the frost kills it, or it even just passes through its normal annual life cycle. But it's going to return. I think the extension definition is that it's going to be in the landscape for at least 3 years. Biennials will be 2 years. Annuals are plants that we enjoy because they're really the most prolific in flowering continuously during the growing season, but are killed by that first frost, and then we have to replant those every year.
Right. Right. And but I'm very intrigued with ferns. So you'll teach me about ferns when I come because I love them. I think they're fascinating. I know nothing about them.
Well,
But
I
there's a
think
lot of native fern, right?
well there are, and if I'm going to think about natives in my landscape, then sure, for especially for ferns, I want to use native ones.
Okay.
So I don't have to if I'm lucky enough to get them established in my landscape in the first place, then I don't have to worry about them surviving.
Right.
So for ferns, that's pretty special
Mm-hmm.
for me.
Okay, very cool. I love this. And I love that this is your opportunity to go and see all these places that you've heard about and go and visit with them and contribute to a very worthy cause. If you've just joined us, a lot of times some people will tag in, they'll be like, what are they talking about? We're talking about the Seed of Hope Tour of Gardens. It is this Saturday, starts at 9 a.m. You can get a ticket by going to Eventbrite. But as Penny said, you don't have to get your ticket ahead of time, but just kind of unpack all that for them again before we get
Well,
too
we would
far
rather
in.
you get it ahead of time so that because we have some vendors that are going to try to provide a few things,
Okay.
a little pluses for you. So it kind of helps us to get an idea of how many is going to be there. But if for some reason you get up and you don't have a ticket and you're like, well, you know what I had planned changed, so I think that I will come. Or, I heard Rob Ary on one street over, and I think I do want to come and see some of that stuff. So go to Eventbrite, or you can go to Eventbrite that morning. But some people are like, I can't use my phone to do that. We can help you do that when you get to one of the stops.
So they could just show up at the Highland Rim Agricultural Research
Yes, and
the
we
Experiment Center.
we will be able to help them. There'll be someone there that can help you with your phone to get a ticket, or we can take your donation to get a ticket. We can do whatever we need to do to get you in the garden tour, and wherever you can stop at any place that you want.
Do you want to go through the list of where the different places are going to be?
Did you tell everything you needed to tell? And then I'll
Sure.
because I don't want to take your time. So we've got the experiment. We've got the
Highland Rim Research and
Highland Rim-
Education Center.
I wanted to get it right. We've got that stop that it's between Springfield and Greenbrier, and then we have Jim and Charlotte Gray that is in Moreland. We have Southside Drugs that's on South Main. And they are actually going to be smoking up a little bit of food that you can purchase on their on their
Okay.
stop.
See, and I didn't realize they had a garden. But
They've got a friend, Mr. Woodard, at the end, the lower end of South Main is where they grow their things, mainly their
Okay.
garlic, and so Mr. Woodard is going to be smoking up a few things and have some sides and everything that you can
Fun.
purchase and buy if you wanted to do that. So we have South Side, and then we have Beth Hannibus on North Main. Then we have Shade Tree Farms, Jenny Justice out on Shade Trees on Kenny's Road. Jenny Justice is on Ed Ross Road. It's out.
she's going to be here tomorrow. too.
Yeah, she'll be here tomorrow, and then we'll jump over to Cedar Hill, and then we'll go to Tennessee Urban Farms with Mona and Dan Hitch, and then Corbin Creek.
Awesome.
8
I love
stops.
it. I love it.
And we have the door prizes. The door prizes will be located at the Grays, but every stop that you make, you have the opportunity to enter for door prizes.
Awesome. And I guess they'll be notified later if they were
Yes.
the winner on
Yes.
that. I love it. Are any of those people that we just listed any of your Master Gardener students?
Well, Jenny Justice completed the training this
Okay.
time for the second time.
Oh, okay.
She went through many years ago. And Beth Hannibus also
Okay.
completed the training, and both of them have also completed the volunteer hours that are required and continuing education units to become certified master gardeners.
I love it. See, I had a feeling that probably some of these folks that are passionate about their garden had to have gone through your training. So you've gone through the different things that you're going to share. Is there anything else that we haven't talked about that you're going to be talking to them if they come to the stop? They're going to, you're going to talk about the vegetables and the shade trees and the shade tree plants and what else did we have?
Irrigation.
Irrigation. So are those the three key things that you're going to cover at your stop? Is there anything else?
That's the major
Okay.
topics at our stop. Surely if people have questions that we might be able to answer for them as well, if they're experiencing something in their landscape and they're not quite sure about how to move forward with that or what's the right thing to do, then we'll try to help with that.
Okay, well, see, that would be me. I would be like, I've got this, and this, because I have. And do you get the question about pest a lot, about how to deal with pest and using pesticides? Do you use pest? I mean, is that a question you get a lot, or because I'm a farm girl and we use stuff responsibly. We use pest, but I know a lot of people who garden, they like to be completely organic. They don't want to use any kind of. Do you? Which side do you come on, and how do you advise people on stuff like that?
I advise, I provide the opportunity for organic if there's something available that's organic, and we can consider, there are some pesticides that are organic pesticides as well.
Oh, okay.
So, but if it's something, there may be a disease or a bug issue that really takes more than an organic material can provide. And for some plants, it's just really tough to grow organically, and fruit would be one of those.
Fruit trees.
To think about fruit trees, it's just tough to do. But there are some options, and you just consider your options and then make your choices and understand the challenges that you still may face.
Right.
Trial and error.
Trial and error.
Well, to me, that'd be one of the questions that I would think you would probably get more as much as anything, because as somebody who loves to garden and has gardened, that's been the thing that has discouraged me. Okay, the critters that want to come eat it, but I love growing squash. You were talking about growing squash, and I would have beautiful squash, and then those stupid little bugs would just destroy it, and so that's been my frustration as to how to conquer that. So you would help me with that if I come out and talk to you.
Yes, I can help you with that, but I'll tell you, I'm a home gardener too, and I quit growing squash.
Wow.
And it's because of that squash bug. It's very hard to control.
It's very hard to control. Well, and I mean, that's just interesting, because I was wondering about with it growing with the corn and stuff, if it maybe survived a little bit better, but I love the concept of the three sisters. I think that's so cool. And I kind of want to see if I can't. Maybe I'm going to garden again. I'm going to do it again. Amy's always, because Amy and I are good friends, and are you going to have a garden this year? Well, you're doing one for me. I'll go buy vegetables from you. But very good. Well, do y'all have anything we haven't covered? I know Trent should be popping in here in a minute. He may already be out there, but he is. Oh, okay. Well, very good. I didn't see him come in. Awesome. Do y'all have anything else we need to cover?
I think I'm good.
How about you?
Well, if people have questions about their trees, shrubs, flowers, lawns, that's why I'm in the Robertson County Extension Office, and you can give me a call.
Good.
Or send me an email. A lot of our communication these days happens. Send me a photo, and I can look at the photo.
Okay.
That's a great thing about smartphones and digital technology today is it helps out a great deal.
Oh, that's cool. I love that.
Learned that a few months ago. Just take a picture of it. It tells you what it is.
I love it. It's very cool. Awesome. Thank you, Bob. Very nice to meet you.
Good to meet
Bob
you.
Ary, he is with the UT Extension Office and is going to be part of our Seed of Hope Tour of Gardens on Saturday. We'll be talking more about it tomorrow. Penny, thank you so much. And we'll keep plugging it along.
Okay.
And just got to be a part of this. It's going to be a great event. God bless y'all. We're going to do an ad as y'all make your way out, and we'll let Trent come on in. But thank y'all. And anytime you need to come on, just let me know. But we're going to pause, and we're going to let's just go ahead and talk about Corbin Creek Greenhouse Gifts and Gardening Center. They are part of the tour, and we'll remind you, if you've heard me talk about Corbin Creek and you've not had a chance to go by, well, here is your chance to go by and see what's going on at Corbin Creek Greenhouse Gifts and Gardening Center. They are a great stop for you, no matter what's going on in your garden. If you've got maybe you've got some places you want to put some vegetables in. You can go out and see what they have still for their vegetable selection. The best way to find out everything about Corbin, I say it often, is go to their Facebook page and follow them there because they're great about keeping things up to date. And you're going to see just beautiful pictures of their greenhouses, and they're always different. They put up something, it's Father's Day weekend, by the way. So, we talked a lot about Mother's Day weekend in Corbin, but you can go get something wonderful for your dad too at Corbin Creek Greenhouse Gifts and Gardening Center. Go into the garden, go into the office out there and check out their selection of gifts. Maybe you need some CBD products. Maybe your dad wants to check that out. You can get Robertson County CBD produced from plants grown right here in the county by her brother Bill. It is a great place to stop, and again, a great stop on the Seed of Hope Tour of Gardens that benefits Martha Song Foundation. Go by and talk to Miss Amy, Miss Jane, all of them today. And when you do, be sure and let them know that U-Turn sent you. Trent Cobb is in the house. Oh, my goodness. What a big weekend you had.
We had a great.
Oh, my. And I was so tickled to be a part of it. It was so much fun. My little fella, he ate some chicken wings on Friday night, and it was just in barbecue. My big fella ate a bunch of barbecue on Saturday. He was in heaven. He was just like, oh, this is good.
Yeah, he just kept going back and getting plates full. And I thought, how can you just do that? But
well, what's really funny, he goes, I didn't taste a bad one, So that's the hard thing when you're coming down to that. It's like, how do you decide which is better than whatever, And if you missed it, it was the barbecue throwdown. It happened Friday night and Saturday, and you don't have to wait till next year now. But you want to give us all the particulars about who won? So what all happened? Give me the update on all that because people want to know.
Well, what all happened? The main thing is Friday night at the wing competition, we raised, actually after recounted everything and a few more donations come in, over $2,600.
That's awesome.
For my father's house.
That's up from last year too.
Yes. So
so that's always good.
It was, and it was crowded. You was there. It was
yes.
That competition is really growing, and then actually what we're thinking about doing next year is we're going to have two separate competitions. One for strictly local people that are not entered into the main barbecue contest. Have, they can compete against each other, and then the actual competitors that are entered in the barbecue contest, will have a table. So it kind of brings in more of a local rivalry because you'll get some people like my son-in-law who actually won it. Mm-hmm. I had nothing to do with that. His wings were great though. Him, and then, there's a few other people in town that say, well, no, my wings will be better than yours and stuff like that. So we decided to turn it into two competitions.
I like that.
One for the actual real barbecue people.
Professional barbecuers.
Versus just people like me.
Yeah.
So,
well, my husband this weekend says we're going to compete next year. I'm like, oh, really? Okay. So he's teasing the idea that he wants to bring out his wings.
Well,
so
tell him to bring them on.
That's what I told him. I said, well, you just let me know, and we'll work it out. So, so who won the overall barbecue competition?
The overall barbecue competition was won by. I'm going to double check to make sure I don't mess up. Pig Destroyer is the name of the competitors that won. And then reserve grand champion was Smoke a Fatty Barbecue. So, I mean, some of these names are just, they are very creative
Smoke
names.
a Fatty.
But yes, the overall grand champion was Pig Destroyer, and Smoke a Fatty was reserve grand champion. Now, in the individual categories, Big B's Barbecue Company, who is Brian Morrison, who is a local guy. He actually works just right down the road from you.
Yes, he does. He's up there at the waste bar plant.
Yep. So he won in chicken.
Okay. Awesome. Congratulations.
And then we had in the pork ribs, BGQ. Is the name of the competitor that won in the pork ribs. And then in the pulled pork, High on the Hog.
Okay.
So,
So I didn't realize you had these different categories. So Pig Destroyer won it overall.
Yes.
Okay.
And as you can see, I brought in the Kansas City Barbecue Society tally sheets.
Yeah.
And like I say, there was 40 judges, and each table has, let me see, there were 6 tables, 5 or 6 tables. There's 5 or 6 judges at each table, and each contestant turns in, of the 30 contestants, they'll turn in when it's time to turn in the chicken. Everybody turns the chicken in. Each table of judges will get 6 different competitors.
Okay.
And then they try theirs, and then they score theirs on what they think, and then it goes all down the line.
It's
and
complicated.
It's
yeah.
very complicated because we also, we had the 4th category, which is anything but.
Okay.
Which, I mean, you had
Be alligator, I think you said one
alligator,
time.
lobster tails,
Yeah.
you name it, it was in there.
Okay.
So, but you juggle it around, and no team can be judged by a table more than once. So they're just
Okay, so they're mixing it up. Okay.
yeah. So I mean, I was sitting in there just kind of watching over the Kansas City's the reps for Kansas City Barbecue. Keeping up with all that was just mind-boggling. How it is absolute serious business.
That's hysterical. Well, and I know whenever my husband was sampling and I said, well, I want to have a taste and see, because he gave me his 4 and I had a bite of each one of them. And you said, well, you got to have a cracker between, you got to clean your palate.
Yeah, you have to, you really, to do it right, you have to do that,
Oh, that was funny.
because if you pick up one person's rib and eat it, and then you go pick up the next one, then like I say, it's like, well, okay, wait a minute, was I getting the flavor from that? So you eat like a saltine cracker, take a sip of water.
That's funny. That's funny. Well, who won the People's Choice Barbecue then that we were judging out there in the...
It was,
I'm putting you on the spot. I'm putting you on the spot.
Did not, make it onto the
on the list
the
there.
tally sheet, because that wasn't a Kansas City.
Right, that was just
there.
that was kind of like the wing thing coming out. Which one of the wings do you like? Because
maybe before this is over with,
somebody will
Diana
text you.
will, if she's listening, because she had all of them.
She had all that.
Yeah, she can
Okay.
message in or whatever.
She usually pays attention because she knows that you forget stuff. And
Yeah, I will absolutely forget stuff. So
So we're talking with Trent Cobb and getting a recap on what happened with the barbecue throwdown, but we're not gonna just kind of go backwards. We're going forward. We got a lot of stuff happening at the fairground.
got a lot of stuff happening
That he needs to cover. So let me go ahead and take a break. I do want to remind you, too, that today is Flag Day. Today is Flag Day. There's a flag retirement ceremony at Springfield Memorial Gardens tonight, starting at 6 p.m. It's going to be an incredible ceremony to see. We talked about this with Gwen and Terry last week on Veterans Day. Well, the first Wednesday of the month is the day we visit about veterans issues. So we talked about that, but just remind you, today is Flag Day. It's at 6 p.m. It's going to be at Springfield Memorial Gardens. It's going to be an incredible ceremony, seeing a flag retirement ceremony. So be there, be there, be there. You're going to want to be a part of that. Let's go ahead and talk about another one of our sponsors. Let's talk about Cumberland Connect. I love these guys. They're so wonderful. I'm putting an extender in. I'm going to, my original idea, I was going to just put the extender in my house and send it out toward my outbuildings, but Josh came out from Cumberland Connect. I called him. I said, hey, I want an extender. And they said, well, there's a fee for us to come out. I was like, hey, that's no problem. And it was going to be $5 a month to get an extender. Well, then he gets out there and he says, for what this is, he says, if you will run a piece of conduit, you can do it yourself. And he goes, I'll come back and I'll pull the line, and it won't cost you any more than what this was going to cost you. And I guarantee you it'll work, and you'll have hardwired internet just like you have in your house in your outbuilding. Really? And they didn't charge me a penny for that. They considered that a site survey. That's how nice they are. And Josh had no idea that I do the radio ads or anything like that when he came out and started talking to me. They are just that great with customer service, and it's such a Wonderful, wonderful new thing. If you've heard any of the horror stories of what went on, as a matter of fact, last year when I went to Mexico, I'm getting ready to go to Mexico on Friday. When I was in Mexico last year, we were still with AT&T. Our internet, and we were gone right before 4th of July weekend. Our internet went down. We couldn't get any help. It was insane. I talked to 3 different countries, y'all, and I'm not kidding, trying to get that internet fixed when I got back home. It was ridiculous. And they charged me $65 and I had like a 3.5 upload speed. I'm paying $80 now and I got a gig. I'm part of the gig club. Upload speeds in the 600s. It's insane. And since I do photography now, it's essential. If you're a part of the Cumberland Electric community, you're going to have access to Cumberland Connect. If you want to find out if they're in your neighborhood yet, go to cumberlandconnect.org, cumberlandconnect.org, or call 1-800-987-2362, 1-800-987-2362. Put in your zip code when you go to the website, or just give them your zip code, and they'll say, hey, yeah, we're ready to get there, or we'll be there, and we'll let you know. We'll call you as soon as we get everything ready for you. But it's a great company, and if you're having financial issues, you can connect with the connectivity program, providing qualifying credit to help pay for internet services for those who are eligible. And if you are eligible, you could receive a credit of up to $30 per month toward broadband services. They've got packages that start at just $30 per month. Get in touch with them today and let them know that U-Turn sent you. Trent Cobb is in the house, talking all things fair, board, and fairgrounds. And man, we're about to get real busy. I mean, we've already been busy. We've had the big barbecue throwdown. We've got, of course, the farmers market happening every week. And you teased something you said about trade day. What in the world are you talking about?
Well, it will be, and a good friend of mine and fellow Fair Board member Ronnie Pendleton just texted me and says he'll be here in about 5 minutes.
Oh,
so
wonderful.
We're going to be joined by him, but I'll go ahead and get started. It is our first annual, hopefully, to be. It's like a huge farmers market, flea market. You name it, going on down at the fairgrounds.
Awesome.
It is, well, I'll just read you this. It says, join us for a day of fun, food, and shopping at the first annual Robertson County Trading Days. Explore local vendors, farmers market, food trucks, jewelry, clothing, arts, crafts, antiques, flea market, and job opportunities and more. So,
okay.
I know there will be businesses down there, so it's kind of like a job fair.
Mm-hmm.
There will be different booths set up, with like, I think, well, it's not Northcrest now. Northcrest Hospital will be set up.
HCA.
Yeah. And
TriStar, aren't they?
TriStar, yeah.
I think that's what they call it, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, and then several other local businesses will be set up saying, hey, if you're looking for a good career opportunity, they'll be giving out information. But the main thing is, like I say, we're hoping to have upwards of 200 vendors.
That'd be
down
awesome.
on the fairgrounds, and it is totally free to get in.
Mm-hmm.
If you're interested in having a booth, you can go to our website and click on Robertson County Trading Days, and it'll take you to the link to have a booth down there.
Okay.
If you have, if you want to set up a photo booth. Something like that.
Okay.
I don't know of anybody that's doing photos and stuff like
Ha
that.
ha ha! I am. Well, I have and I'm an author too, and I have books.
Yeah.
And that's something my husband, he goes, why don't you ever promote your book? I'm like, I know, I don't have time. And so, I mean, something like that. If you're a local author, I know a lot of local authors,
Yeah,
and maybe we
mean-
get together and do like an author's booth or something. That would be fun.
It
Yeah.
really would be. So,
Locally
I mean,
produced
and
literature.
very, very inexpensive for the vendors. It's $25
Awesome.
per booth, and it's first come, first serve on any of the indoor booths.
Okay.
So there'll be indoor and outdoor. They'll be underneath the main stage. They'll be in the white building, in the red building, down in the lower parking lot area, up in the midway in the grass.
What a fun idea. When is this happening?
This is happening August. Hang on. I had to make it bigger for everybody to see, so I can see 2023. Well, it's in August.
He'll be here in a minute, and we'll get
He'll
more
be here
details
in a
on it.
minute.
So that's an exciting thing coming up, and I love that you're calling it Trade Day, because
Yeah.
that's like the old fashioned name for what they call. A lot of people call it flea markets and all that now, But that's Trade Day is the old-fashioned name, and I love that. Come on in here. Come on in here, and let's talk about this. So we're going to have Trade Day. I love it.
They just
I love
asked me
it.
the question, what day is it? And
What he just said August, but he didn't give me. You're gonna have to get on that microphone. You have to get up close. That's the way those things work. You gotta get right on them.
August 12th.
August 12th. Wonderful. I love that.
and Ronnie here, like I say, Ronnie Pendleton, he is a local Robertson County and been here for how many years?
A minute.
Yeah.
A minute.
Yeah. So, but he is in charge of this trading days. That's why I wanted him to step in here because he knows way more about it than I do.
Okay. Well, I want an indoor booth. How do I do that?
Just fill out an application,
Okay.
and it's $25.
Okay.
And it's real simple.
Okay.
Cheap. The booths are really cheap.
I love it. I love that, and I think I can do that. I think I can do that. I've got all these teaching things I'm doing. I have to make sure I don't have a teaching thing that day, but I mean, because that's something that I've got some things I would love to promote. I've got my photography business I'm building. I've got a book I've written, things like that. I would love to have a little booth to feature that and to do that, and so I love that. So okay, let's say. If I get on today and I sign up for a booth because I want an indoor booth because I don't like sitting out in the heat. I want an indoor booth. So if I sign up for that, if I see that okay, I've got a teaching thing that day, and so can I then let somebody else take it over, or would I need to have them re-register or something to that degree?
Are you talking about somebody else?
Like, can I sublet my booth?
Sure, we'll work with you any way we can.
I just know because I have a lot of teaching things coming up, and I'm not sure of that schedule yet. But I would love to do this. I think this would be a lot of fun. And as I'm kind of in my head going through my calendar, I'm like, I'm free that day, and that would be fun. What are the hours? What? Give me all the parameters of how this is going to work.
We're going to set it up the day before.
Okay.
And then the actual event will be 8 to 4.
8 to 4 on Saturday, August 12th.
Yes.
Trade Day. I love that. I love that.
Because it's in conjunction, with the farmers market and everything
Yeah.
else, so.
Yeah. I think it's a great idea. I think it's a wonderful idea. So,
Something I've been wanting to do for a long time.
awesome.
And
Ronnie made a believer out of me because he had when was that the swap
February.
meet. And back in February on a Sunday morning, Ronnie rented the fairgrounds himself and just to do a swap meet, which was basically just car parts and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Anything automotive basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was worried about the parking and he was worried about having people down there. And I was sitting there thinking, it's February, Sunday morning, it's freezing cold outside. You're crazy. You're not going to have that many people down there. I got down there at 7:30ish or so just to kind of start helping out. It was cram-packed full of people.
Oh, wow.
there's about 1,800 people come through.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, and
Wow.
there was cars coming in from other states getting there, so they left at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning just to be some of the first ones to roll into Robertson County for the swap meet. So
Wow. And then that's bringing up all kinds of ideas of my husband's got things he needs to get rid of.
Yeah.
And he could come out and just get rid of some stuff.
yeah,
I mean, what a great place to have, you talk about having yard sales and things like that. No, you could actually, that's what this is, right? I mean, you could, anything.
Anything.
anything. Yeah, I mean, it's trading days. I mean, you're trading, swapping, selling.
This is what we used to do when I was a kid. Before they called it flea market or whatever it was, a true trade day, this is what it was. It's like, I got some stuff I don't need anymore. You want it? Let's go. I've got something I'm doing. This is a new thing. This is what I do professionally. Can I tell you about what I do? That's a great idea. Great idea. About time, right?
Yeah. My thoughts were there's been so many people that move in the county.
Yeah.
And this will be a way to show what's available in Robertson and surrounding counties.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
There's getting to be a whole lot of, especially with the farmers market and the way the farmers market is expanding in, not just to have produce, but other local artisans and crafts people are setting up at the farmers market. So, I mean, like Ronnie said, new people are moving in every day. I mean, and like I say, this is set up for any business. Like say, if Payne Chevrolet wants to have something set up down there, any of the car dealerships, just to let them know you can come to one spot and see what.
Find out everything.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm in. I think this is a great idea. So I'm gonna go as soon as I leave here and register for one of those indoor booths because I want an indoor booth. Have you had people start registering yet?
Yes, I have a lot. I've had a lot of
Do you
interest
have
in
any
it.
indoor booths still? Or are they
Yes,
gone?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
We have a lot of real estate. at the
Okay.
fairgrounds.
Okay. I wasn't sure because I know that indoor building's only so big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Now,
but-
but some of them would want to be outside. you know.
really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess so. I guess
There's
so.
2 buildings down there. That
Yeah,
we
see,
can-
there's 2
that you
buildings.
can
There's
get
a white
inside.
building also,
And the white building.
and the
Okay.
red building.
Okay.
Now, the
Which one
white
has air
building-
conditioning?
Well, the red building has air conditioning. The white building
That's what I
does
wanted.
not. But like I say, it's a it's something that Ronnie really he felt real passionate about, and like I say, after he did his swap meet thing, it made a total believer out of me that
Yeah.
this man knows what he's talking about.
I love it. My husband's already on this. He's like, okay, where do I find the application for booths? And will there be different size booths? Or is it just, they're all the standard size,
They're 10 by 10.
10 by 10?
You
Okay.
can get as many as you want.
Okay.
If you buy 10, I'll give you a free one.
If you buy 10, I'll give you a free one. I love it. So if somebody like Payne, they need more than 10 by 10 space.
Yes.
So they're going to say, well, we'd like to bring a couple of cars out, so we need a 30-foot section. So they would buy 3 booths. Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Talking
I love
to
it.
some boat dealers, tractor dealers,
Yeah.
lawnmower, people like that.
They're the ones that
So,
would need to be outside.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
But like I say, if you go to the Robertson County website, Robertson County Fair Association website, you just scroll down there. You click on events. You
Okay.
go down, and then there's a link that'll carry you to the trading days, and then it carries you through the whole application process right there.
okay. Okay. Well, there you go, Mark.
And we want to make it fun. We're going to load it up with food trucks, ice cream, lemonade.
You bet. It's going to be a good
we can have a
time.
big time.
I love it. So, Trade Day. Trade Day is in Robertson County again, August 12th, and this is going to be a yearly event. Or are you going to do it a couple of times every quarter?
We would like to make a destination event out of it. People
Oh,
come, spend
yeah.
the weekend and just hang out with us.
How fun. I
Yes.
love this idea. And that's a good weekend for me. So just keep it on that second weekend in August. That's at least right now, I think it is. So, well, fun. So you go to kind of reiterate what they were saying. If you want to get it on an application, you go to the Fair Board website, which is what? How is it listed on the website?
Well, I've got it on the app on my phone.
I know, but you got to tell me, if you just go to Robertson County, Tennessee Fair, you
Well,
would
go to
probably
Robertson
Google.
County Fair Association. If you Google Robertson County Fair Association, it will pop
It will
up.
get you there.
It will take
Robertson
you to
County
events.
Fair Association. When you get to, make sure you're on Tennessee, Robertson County, because there's other Robertson counties in the country. That's a big thing you got to remember. This same thing we have with the sheriff's office and their app. You got to make sure you're on the Tennessee, Robertson County, but get on that page, go to events, and there you'll find the application for Trade Day. So,
I also wanted to add, we're going to have a huge outdoor event with this.
okay, what is
Hunting,
that?
Hunting, fishing, hiking, kayaking, canoeing, bicycling, anything to do with golf, anything to do with outdoors.
This is going to be awesome. I love this idea. What fun.
It's basically literally something for everybody.
For sure.
Whatever interest you have.
If there's anybody out there that wants to learn how to fly fish, I got some guys coming from the Middle Tennessee Fly Fishers Association, and they are great. They can teach you to fly, how to cast a fly rod, and they are great at what they do.
My husband was just asking that question the other day, as a matter of fact, because he's got a fly fishing reel. And he goes, I don't even know how to use this thing. Of course, where would you fly fish around here, though?
There's several places.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you fly fish on the creek?
Yeah.
Okay, because we live on Cars
Yeah,
Creek.
you live
know.
on a creek, and hey,
Yeah.
did he spit on his lure so he could catch that big fish like that?
No, he did not. But we used a lure that a friend of mine that's a professional fisherman that fixed for us. It's the Texas rig for the little crawfish thing, and that my grandson 6-year-old caught a big old bass in the creek in front of our house, and so we're gonna figure out this fishing thing. We're gonna get good at it.
Some good chewing tobacco and spit on it.
Oh, stop that chewing tobacco mess. I'm going to get you on that one. But anyway, I love this. This is going to be a great time. Great time. So just reiterate. I tell you what, let me do my ad. I got to do one more ad for Veterans Motorplex. So let me do this ad real quick, and then we'll come back and we'll recap and get ready to let the Go Show come on in here. And remember, it is Flag Day, so keep that in mind and be a part of the ceremony tonight at 6 o'clock at Springfield Memorial Gardens. And this weekend, go to the races. You can go to Veterans Motorplex. This back page of this newspaper that you can find, I found out, at the school offices. If you want to go over to the central office, Dr. Causey said yesterday they got a whole stack of them, because he has an article he does in all of them as the director of schools, and so they keep a stack of them in there. This is a $40 value on the back of this magazine, guys. You can take this page, and you can take to the races up to 6 kids and 2 adults for free, and this is good for the entire racing season. So you need to get your hands on a couple of these and go to the races, because if you've not been to the races lately, you have no idea what you're missing. It is so much fun. I went for the first time and just had the best time. Had so much fun. They got a great concession stand, so go hungry. They've got events for the kids. You're going to have a great time. Gates open at 4 on Saturdays. Racing starts at 6, goes till at least 9 o'clock. And you're going to see local favorites. You're going to see some teenagers out there racing. It is a blast, and it's right here in Greenbrier. They're at 6801 Kelly Willis Road in Greenbrier, and you got questions, you can call them at 615-643-8725, 615-643-8725. Get by there this weekend, go to the races, talk to Jerry, and be sure and let them know that you turned sent you. All right, talking with my friends from the Robertson County Fair Board. And tell me your name again. Ronnie Pendleton. Get up on that microphone for me. Now, we all know Trent Cobb here, and you are all part of this board that's like a family, right? So all things Fair Board, you can talk to these men, and they can keep you up to date on it. Our big theme today is the Trade Day coming up, August 12th. Give them all the particulars again on how they can be a part of it.
Just go to the Robertson County Fair site. You can click on the application, just admit your application. The booths are $25 for a 10 by 10. Mm-hmm. You can get as many as you want. If you buy 10, I'll give you a free one.
I love it.
So,
and that's plenty of space right there. I love it. And this is a good start to something, I think. Anything else you need to cover?
That's about it. Like I say, we just come off of a great barbecue throwdown weekend. We have the trading days. We have a rodeo fair coming up. Just something.
Blues Festival. We'll get Tommy Marsh in here soon.
The main thing is free admission
to the trade days. Trading days, free admission. Not a penny that's going to cost you to go into Robertson County Trading Days, and this is August 12th this year, 8 to 4 p.m. If you want to be a part of this, get your booth right now. Go to the website and get that and be a part of all that's going on at the fairgrounds. Great time. Spend a Robco weekend. Absolutely. Right, yes. All right. And check out Cobb Hill Homes, too. Tell them how to get in touch with you.
You can get in touch with my wife, Diana, at 615-335-1266. Again, 615-335-1266. Or me as the contractor.
Penny is one of your agents.
Penny that just left out here. She's one of our agents. But, you can go to, like I say, our Facebook page, our websites, and all that, too. So.
Sounds good. Very good, my friends. Thank you for joining us. This is 1100 WSGI. Thank you to all my guests for joining us today. And we're going to continue tomorrow to talk more about the Seed of Hope Tour of Gardens. And I hope you'll be a part of that. But I hope you'll stick around, because we got Lee Marie coming in right now with The Go Show. This is 1100 WSGI. God bless. Have a wonderful day.